Well, well, well. We're back again. Oh, that's awfully dark, isn't it? All right. The time is now, children. Repent, repent. Readjusting the boom arm. I've got myself the things I promised about last week. These are the ZSN Pro, not to be confused with the ZS10 Pro. These happen to be a particularly cheap, yes, cheap in-ear monitor. There we go. I had to readjust something. The unboxing is simple. Your IEMs are in here, the cables and the tips are behind all of it. Pull this off nice and simple like. I said nice and simple. Look, it's nice and simple, okay? I promise. If not, you can always use a canifer. Knife. Excuse me. My English is failing me just as my brain does in old age. These are interesting little in-ear monitors, though. I don't know that I could qualify them as monitors, but they're not in-ear headphones, not due to the styling, but due to the type of quality that they offer. They're an interesting little breed. Let's get you down closer. And what I find is they're good for some things, they're bad for other things. And then they're kind of surprising for the rest. I'm terribly sorry for moving the boom arm like this, but not the best boom arm I have at the moment. Gonna buy one that is less fiddly. Yes, less fiddly here pretty soon, I think. So these are about $20 US, shipped Prime, Amazon goodness. You could probably find these cheaper on AliExpress if you live in that part of the world where the shipping from AliExpress, from China anyway, is not so shit. So we're going to get into this one, and it's not going to be the most long of videos. These aren't as annoying to me as the F1s were. I was able to nail these down. I just had to confirm my suspicions. These are also particularly niche, although with fewer finer detail caveats to them that the KB F1 had. These work with just about any type of music. MP3s, FLAC, low quality, high quality, good mixing and mastering from not terribly loud waveforms or loudness of the tracks, to particularly dirty stuff like you'd find in your average pop, J-pop. Rap music is sometimes a proponent of bad mixing, and most any other current day and age music. However, what these do, these sound good. I use the word good. They don't sound like complete shit at any delineation in between from quality. Now, I will state, as before, quality in, quality out. These do sound better the better your music is recorded. However, playing these on Spotify in just some old 120-something kilobit per second MP3 files I had from way back, because yes, you do still have to keep a modicum of shit, because not everyone is an audiophile. I might find that one user that just doesn't understand, or is a neophyte, or is young, and I can help cater to the things that they may also want to listen to. The F1s didn't really like low quality. The P1s would tell you it's shit and then slap you across the eardrum for insulting its planar driver. These are your old friends. And to preface what I mean by old friend, back when I was younger, There's a brand name still around called Skull Candy. Whoa, calm the fuck down. Calm the hell down, children. I know some of you just went for the unsubscribe button. Give me a second. Just a moment, please. A little bit longer than a second. These sound like old skull candies. Not the stuff they have today. The stuff they have today is your mainstream stuff for your normies. We are a special breed. These remind me of the Skull Candy Titans, an offshoot, more higher quality version of the FMJs, of which you can still find for a reasonable price, the FMJs anyway, on eBay. I think around 20, 15, 20, something around there. I haven't heard them in a while, so I'm not going to recommend one versus the other on these, the ZSN Pros. But I will say, if you manage to cough up the money for the Titans, those were my personal favorites. And they lasted me, good lord, 5, 6 years. But on to the point that I'm getting at. Those are when Skull Candy didn't sound like trash. They didn't sound like Beats do. They're higher end bassy stuff. They sounded cleaner. They weren't over embossed with bass. They didn't lack in the trebles, and the mids were relatively warm, if I'm going off of my memory correctly. These are a hybrid driver. One single dynamic driver. A hybrid IEM with a single dynamic driver and a balanced armature. No less, if I'm not mistaken. Feel free to correct me. I don't actually have the page up, and oh, what am I kidding? I can pause this. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I found the information. It's the WBFK 3/95 triple aught. That is from... the listing is from Mauser Electronics. This is a no-less balance armature. So, that does solve that conundrum. And they're pretty damn good. Not great. Not, audiophiles beware. No, I'm not saying that these $20 IEMs punch harder and are more resolute than something like the Venture Electronics Monk Plus. I'm not saying these are touching the 10T2s or anything like that. No. These sound about what you pay for. It's a reasonable price for a reasonable amount of quality. They have an amazing dynamic driver inside of them. I pitted them up against, someone linked me to BGGAR's favorite bass testing track, and holy Christ in a basket. Yes, baby Christ, when he was cute and adorable. These didn't distort, even with the obscenity levels of bass that were being knocked around in my earballs. They're quite impressive. And when the track picked up with more of its treble, it was able to present that accurately and cleanly. I will note, if you have particularly sensitive, very sensitive ears, it seems like I've been able to come past my extreme sensitivity to treble. It still bothers me, but I can tolerate it for long enough to analyze a headphone in the way that I do. And I noted down that there was a slight semblance between about the 8K and 10K regions, about where I imagine the balanced armature picks up. The dynamic driver is very powerful in this, and unfortunately, in some particular cases, it can muddy things a little bit and mask a small amount of the mids. Not so much of the mid-mids to mid-highs, but it does start to tingle and tangle with the mid-lows to the early mid-mids in that region, and it can muddy things up in a track that is poorly recorded, has just an obnoxious amount of bass. You really have to make these things want to annoy you to get them to annoy you. Otherwise, they're just a very simple in-ear monitor. Tiny ears beware. These are not particularly large, nor are they particularly small. I know. Everyone knows what this looks like. Chapstick lid. It is a little bit larger than a chapstick lid. How many diameters is that? Hell, I don't know. Go down to your damn grocery store and find your average chapstick. I mean, that's the easiest thing I can do. You know what? You want a different example? Here's a 1/4-inch adapter. Look, boom. There we go. Size reference that for you. Here, let's get you down lower. See? Look. Awesome. Great. They're not very big, they're not very small. I'm working on getting the ZSN, the 10 Pros, the KZ ZSN 10 Pros, if I'm not mistaken, to see if those are any larger due to the. Oh, well, there's my stutter. Awesome. Due to the larger amount of BAs, although they are tiny. But about the 10-minute marker, go, no go. I would say, if you want to relive the golden years, and you remember when Skull Candy was good, or at least good for your young age and young ears, and for the type of music you listen to, that are indiscriminate in what they will reproduce for you, I would say yes, approximately $20, plus or minus a little bit. Yeah, these aren't that bad. Now, am I shilling out for them? No, these are not resolute, these are not amazing, these are not the be-all end-all catch-all. And there are caveats we're going to get into. Beyond that, I'm just saying for $20, I mean, as another commenter had mentioned in one of my past videos, they aren't shit. Now, are they great and amazing? No, not by any means. But they're economic. They're great for what they are. Are there different options at a lower price range? Yes, there are the VE Monk Plus, which I think, you know what, those are going to get the video next. Yeah, those are going to get the video next, because I've been playing with them, and I've found a way to do some really cool shit, like isolate them. Isolate the sound from them, from the outside world. Are these better than the monoprice 9927s? I'd say, seeing as you really honestly have to buy foam tips for these because silicone seem to work balls, shit, and hell with them, I'd say they're about even-ish matched. They're within one another enough to say that that is more of a monitoring headphone in terms of presentation of sound, whereas this is more of just a fun, I'm going to enjoy my music now sort of sound. Now then, it is about that time. I'm going to start the next clip. I'll be right back. Gotta love technology. Holy crap. Okay. Now, here are the caveats. Here's why I become me. The early birds got their video, nice, quick, and simple. Here's your half of the videos. Dear children. I've noted down that there are some weird eccentricities. These give great levels of sub-bass, near the low-frequency effect range, so they can not really vibrate, but oh good shit, you will know there is bass, if there is bass. The BA is accurate sounding, but it's not like a great quality BA, where the imaging is extremely fine and granular, where you can delineate small increments. The dynamic driver is even less so on the imaging. It's your very bog standard sounding dynamic driver for this price range type of imaging. The soundstage is kind of like a weird little cardioid bubble around you. For those of you that weren't watching and just listening, think of a little hemispherical bubble that encapsulates part of the front, top, and bottom of your head. More so towards the top than the bottom seems to be the shtick for these. Or maybe that's just how my ears translate audio from my brain. Or maybe it's the brain. Who knows? Mom always did say I was her special boy.
Don't tell Mama I told her that.
No, back in the cage, Shh, okay, here we go. When it comes to the mid-highs and above or so, about where the vocals would be, about where stuff like in the track I previewed earlier would be, interesting things start happening with the soundstage, because it's not very wide, it's not very narrow, it's not very deep, but it's not very shallow or stout. It's a nice intermediate mix in between. It's not great in any one way, it's not shit in any one way, it is mediocre personified. It's just decent. $20, decent. With very mild amounts of sibilancy issues from what I've noticed. I've tried foams, I've tried silicones, I've done everything in the Red Sun and Blue Moon and Farsil's Tower. They're just not bad. They're just not great. Let's see. There are points in time when I find that wherever the crossover is set to, that some things can be a little bit hidden in the background because the driver is not resolute enough to show them, or the BA isn't crossed over into the point to where it's able to show that up. If it's within the region of the BA's crossover frequency, then yes, it can separate really well. These aren't really great for your classical pieces. They'll work in a pinch, but you might not enjoy it as much. These are just a good catch-all. That's really all there is to it. There's not much to say about these one way or the other. Do I love them? No. Will I continue to use them? Probably not. I mean, I have a lot of other things to listen to for review and analysis purposes and for pure enjoyment purposes. But if I was the average Joe Schmo, would I be relatively happy with them? I mean, yeah. They fit well enough for me. They sound well enough for me. Oh, speaking of fit, hot damn. Be careful about this little ridge here. If you place it too far into the back of the ear, that can kind of bite at it and poke. So you'll end up using it. Let's use this hand. It's a little bit more representative of an ear. You'll have it behind the back and then cant it outwards ever so slightly to where that is clearing the skin and the cartilage. Whereas here is nice and down in between that little cartilage lip just before your ear canal and where the lobe attaches to the cartilage of your ear. Let's see. That's about all I've got. Let's go for... here we are. A preview of the next episode. I have episodes now. Woo! That sounds so... meh. On the next episode of Farsil Reviews... No, we're not going to do that. Ugh. These are the VE Monk Plus. See? VE Monk Plus, not lying. Both of these are the VE Monk Plus. You'll notice a little attachment on them. For those of you that know, yeah, they work. For those of you that want to know that they work, or know that they now work, and know what these are, yes, you can tune them. Mostly for more bass. An obnoxious amount of bass, actually. But this is what I will be playing with and listening to, and I've tried the other versions. My honest opinion is that these are the only ones that can offer a perfect seal. Unless you have the most tapered, goddamnable ear canals. Alright, well, I think I've hit a well enough time limit for this one. This one I don't have much else to say about. So, with that being said, thank you for watching, my favorite beautiful children. Have a beautiful day, a wonderful afternoon, a pleasant night, and most rejuvenating rest. Come back, see my next video. Feel free to leave a comment. Do the other shit if you want to. I don't really care. This is a hobby. I work 40 to 60 hours a week. I do this because no one else is as entertaining. Booyah! Oh, right. That's the end of the video. Shit. Sorry. Rambling. Have a beautiful day. I already did that. I might be losing my mind. Hill time! And with that, I'm out. Peace.